Hey, Meg.
Hello.
Just how are you doing?
Good. Are you in the new house? No.
Hold on. We came back because, well, it's just in no state to put mats out there at the moment.
Are you just building IKEA furniture?
Do you know what we did today? We
What?
bought new floors for this place.
Ooh.
An exciting time to be alive. We went to a bathroom shop and a tile shop and a wood floor shop.
Are you guys doing all this home renovation yourselves?
No, absolutely not.
I wasn't sure if Ross had some practical skills secretly buried under there.
Oh my god, hilarious.
Like, I've got a heavy vehicle license. I can drive a small truck.
That's good. I have a medium length vehicle license, so I can't do like a truck, but I can do 20 people or something like that.
Updates about the club as well before anyone else gets it. So I probably should wait before because I'll end up repeating it 3 times for these.
Rocks.
Okay.
How many people do you think are going to join? What are those? Are those eggs?
Yeah.
Rock eggs.
What? Why?
Thursday is the last one for me.
Are those like goop up your vagina eggs?
No, but maybe I'll try that.
Like the jade eggs?
Yes, but no, not like that at all. I would not want these up my vagina. They're very hot.
So what's happening with the club? Fill us in.
So we're opening on the 25th.
Mm-hmm.
We were down today putting X's on the map.
I see it's only 5 people a session in Farringdon.
Caesar miscounted.
How do you miscount?
I know. It's going to be either 8 or 9 a session.
I was about to say, like, counting's the same in every language. It's not like that can be put down to a translation issue.
Funny when he realized, he was like, oh, how did that happen? Funny. Yeah, so it's going to be either the capacity for each class will be 8 or 9. Depending on whether the instructor needs one of the spaces to show the technique. I think some classes will be more fitness, and then other classes will be so everyone will have a dummy.
Do they have any idea of when we'll be able to go back to contact again?
No, that's all down to the government, but they're doing it in Europe, so I can't imagine it would be very far away.
Because I might suspend my membership until that happens.
Yeah, no, like, so this next thing. So on the 25th, Gymbox, they should have sent you an email, but in case you've missed it or they haven't, we'll restart your membership unless you tell them not to.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, make sure that you tell them not to. And we're expecting probably most of the higher grades to do that because, like, I mean, if I was an instructor there, I'd probably do that as well. If there's no sparring.
Actually, I could go to like the spin classes and stuff. I do like spin class.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah. So entirely up to you, but just so you know, it will automatically unfreeze unless you tell them to keep it frozen.
I've got another question about logistics of payment. So I've been paying the Grand Union my fees directly to Caesar. Do I cancel that payment now? Because I just don't want to get charged.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
230 quid.
I assume so. Best person to ask about that is Caesar, but yeah, I'd imagine probably best to cancel that pretty soon.
Okay, that's right. I'll send him a message now, actually, while you're here. I've been watching a lot of, because I had a sneaky role with Father, and I've been watching a lot of a man called the Boogeyman.
Yeah. Richie Martinez. He's very good.
I would like to roll like that, and I would also like a beard like that.
He used to be a break dancer with his brother as well, Gio
That
Martinez.
makes so much sense, actually.
They're really, I've never met them, but they're meant to be pretty cool. He got his black belt in like 3 years or something because like break dancing is it's not like transferable skills apparently.
Because ballet is not, I can tell you that.
So yeah, that's the update on the club.
Okay. How are you feeling about it?
Sorry?
How are you feeling about it? You excited?
I am. So I feel that, it's getting closer, being back to normal. And as well, I read the news every day about COVID, and there was 2 really good news articles about it today. Did you see the vaccine in Oxford apparently worked?
White blood cells?
Yeah. And they found another treatment that looks promising, like inhalation.
And the New Zealand government has just announced that all citizens returning home have to pay a $3,000 fee to be quarantined at the border.
Sorry, what?
So I've been up all last night writing a press release for the Kiwis in London Association. So basically, Kiwis who go home from now on. So for example, if I was to lose my job and I didn't have a form of income and I had to go home, I would have to pay 3,000 New Zealand dollars, stay in a quarantine facility for 2 weeks when I got into the country to go home.
Okay.
Pardon?
Is it like an all-inclusive spa resort?
No, like you're in your bedroom in a hotel for 2 weeks. You don't leave that room for 2 weeks.
Where do you pay your tax? So do you pay your tax in New Zealand or in the UK?
Well, currently actually I have to pay like a residual student loan tax fee at the moment, but I pay tax here at the moment. But I've always paid tax in New Zealand. My parents paid tax. I'll pay tax when I go home.
Yeah, that's pretty unfair.
But we're lodging a complaint with the Human Rights Commission because we don't think that they can do it because it restricts right to return, which is like core to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Because like it's all right for me because I've got that money saved up. Like if I needed to go home, but like for people who have been made redundant like 2-3 months ago and they've been hunting for a job, like they can't afford to stay here. They also won't be able to afford to go home now either because they won't be able to pay the money to leave the country. It's stuck.
That was a good idea. How did that even get? Yeah, I don't know.
It
was really politically unpopular, and I think Jacinda Ardern kind of unfortunately has scapegoated Kiwis overseas.
Hello.
Hello?
You're back.
Grace.
You're back. Hello. Come in.
Yeah, overseas Kiwis have just been scapegoated.
I'm sorry. It makes
It's going to save them no money. Like, it's not actually that expensive to do this.
they should do it for foreigners coming in, but not for citizens.
Foreigners can't come in. The only people that can enter New Zealand are citizens.
So then it doesn't make sense. I can totally see if they were like, you can come in if you quarantine and that will cost you $3,000, and if you're a Kiwi and you want to come back, you still have to quarantine, but it's free because it's covered by the foreigners.
Yeah.
That would.
Anyway, so I have to send another press release out to BBC actually tonight about it. I'm very tired.
Thank you for being here.
Sorry, this is a class. This is not like a platform for me to whinge about. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop now.
Beautiful. Oh, Steve, there's updates on the club, mate. So I tell you. So we went down today and marked out the areas. So the classes will be either 8 or 9 people. You'll have to book online before. Your membership will start up again on Saturday unless you tell them not to. So, yeah, and it's like up to you. Oh, but if you're in Brighton, I don't know. That doesn't.
Yeah, don't worry about that because it says the guys in the Brighton it says anyway. So yeah.
No need to worry about that. And yeah, so everything I have to say doesn't really matter. I the exit in London, so yeah, no need to worry.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, I really thought about what to teach today. Is there any questions? Anything people would like to cover?
So I have some rubber guard questions.
I want to look at guard retention. Actually, I've been amazed by guard retention and watching your matches and stuff.
Oh, retaining guard. All right.
That's my fave.
All right. So, like, if you stay in this position all the time, it's really hard to pass your guard. You don't even need to be sitting up. But what I'm doing is I'm sort of seeing around my forearms and my elbows and knees are pretty much connected. That's what you want. And that's the strongest frame that you can have. Elbows inside your knee. It limits space for underhooks between your armpit and your rib pit and your hip. So as soon as you try to pass when I'm sitting up, so try passing him. So yeah, and step back. She picks my legs up. I stay in this position. Try passing my guard. And you see how there's nothing really for her to expose and take advantage of, providing I stay in this position. Actually, one of the worst things you can do for guard retention is want to have like a control on a leg. If you back out, what this does is it parts my knees from my elbows and from my chest, which opens up space between armpit and my hip. There's like a 45-minute long video on YouTube somewhere about just staying here forever, and like nothing bad really happening to you. I have to dig it up and send it out. But yeah, so if I start throwing my legs away, what Susie will then do is find it very easy to collapse my knees either side. So here, and exposing underhooks. So back out. I had this conversation with a brown belt the other day, training, and yeah, he fixed it. And his guy got a lot harder to pass. He was still kind of half reaching. He was still kind of half reaching, but he was pulling his knees back into this solid frame. So providing that you stay here, so back down and try passing things, whatever way you want. You go knees, legs. Yeah, there's no space for her to take advantage of underhooks. So you see, I'm not reaching at all. Still no threat of a pass. It's very easy to invert off of this position as well. So if Susie does start running around my head, I can start looking to invert and always keeping her in front of me. So here, back out please. If she tries running around and outpacing me, what I'll do, that's how I stay ahead of her on her run, is to invert. So I can't, if she runs around this way, I can't follow her quick enough by staying on my side. I can block her from running around, so if she tries running around, I can see a leg, any leg. I can catch it, and I can use that to bring myself back in front. If I miss either this leg or this leg, so back out please, and just look to run around me. She will not be able to outpace me because of the inversion. So if she backs up again and runs around to the other side, I can always keep her in front of me. So try getting around here really quick, please. And she can't. You see, so what I would say for guard retention, Steve, is don't get caught up with this. But this is what we teach early on. Like, so you start close guard and half guards, because they're the easiest guards, easiest guards to retain, they're the ones most likely people are going to feel comfortable initially with dishing out offense. But particularly Nogi, you really want to let go of that need to want to lock down a limb or to get some sort of physical control on your opponent. So, yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah, totally, actually. Thank you.
If you stand up again. So, frames, yeah, so elbows are connected. We start getting a little bit more used to this. Like, I even sometimes, I play side guards. So I let this foot drift by my opponent's hip so I can invert onto legs and stuff. So back out again. But I've always got my inversion here. So back up. And now walk around my head. So again, invert, and she's always in front of me. So then, if your opponent can't run around your guard, essentially from that movement, then they've got to start looking to pin limbs and get some sort of control before they're able to pass. So that's the initial thing you've got to do with your guard, essentially, is make it impossible for your opponent to run around, and then go from there. Sitting up, very useful thing to do as well. When you're sitting up, you always want your head fairly high. You don't want to be like crumpled over like this. You want to be upright. It makes it a lot harder for your opponent to jump over your head to attack your arms and to attack your neck, really. A little less of the case in a gi because of collar chokes. Things like loop chokes. So it's a little bit riskier to be in this position. You've got to keep your head centered. So head's always centered, and as soon as you try running around this way, I'm always able to keep her in front of me. And you see, both my legs aren't actually between Susie and I. It's my shin that I'm relying on. So my movement here isn't a circle. My movement here is just to move my butt this way. So I float. So you see, it's my hips moving away that makes it impossible for her to get around. If she changes direction, I switch my hands. Even try getting around here. Come on. So I always move those hips back. If she then starts getting frustrated, what she'll then start looking to do is to force you onto your back. She'll do that either with a low head position or looking to step in with a leg. If she steps in with a leg, you want to be hugging that. A lot of people use this knee to try and smash you flat. If they're coming in very aggressively with this knee, you want to be taking it and throwing them that way. Their balance is all off. You're underneath them here. So if they come in aggressively with this, boom, you want to be, you see there, if you fall back a piece of timing, you're then behind them. You start looking to attack the back. Watch Suji. So that's one level of grappler. Another level of grappler will come in first with a low head. And they'll do a bit of work with their head and their hands to break your posture. And now they'll step in hard. You see Susie isn't falling off the top of me. They step in without the head, step in deep, and they come in really hard. Sometimes they'll be really throwing this in. Take it forward. They will have to face on with their hands and you'll be behind them. If Susie wants to put you onto your back, you can also pick up an ankle. So don't step in yet, so I'll catch that. Just start pulling it up. You can make it very heavy by keeping your head over the line of your hip, just a little bit further. If your head is back, this leg will be light, and you're going to get thrown backwards. Also, yeah, your body position is way off here. You want to be leaning over your hip, at least by a head width, almost over your knee. So if she tries picking this up, it's heavy. My head's back, it's light, and I can't stop from falling back. But the moment I fall back, what do? So she picks my leg up. I don't try and catch a leg. My elbows come inside my knees. This stops my knees from collapsing. This is horrifically bad and makes it a lot easier for her to get around my hips. That's essentially what she's looking to do here. So you want to keep your hips as wide as possible with your knees almost by your ears. You see how my knee is like tucked up in my armpit and my elbow's inside that knee. Yeah. So if Susie starts throwing weight down into me, I've always got, so step out, I can just put your chest down. I just catch her with a frame. Even if she goes outside this leg, the lower shin is part of the frame. So if Susie goes onto her back and I'll drop in. So knees are always tight to your chest, elbows are inside thighs, hands are out, ready to frame. So I'm going to come in hard, even if I'm outside the foot. So Susie's legs aren't in front of me. Her elbows on the floor. Good. So as I come in, she's going to top hand, shoulder, lower hand, bicep, or hip, or leg. So, yeah. And the shin will look to catch across my hips. So this one. So as I come down, I throw my weight. Don't extend your hands to meet it. Your frame should always be short. Actually, the shorter a frame, the stronger it is. The more you're straight arming, the weaker it is. Unless you've got like a big contour like the armpit. Yeah, but most of the time, keep your frame short and wait for your opponent to meet them. It doesn't matter if they get within half an inch of your head with their shoulder, that's still a mile, all right? Your frames will weaken the more you try to extend them. So keep your frame short and absorb the pressure. See here, Susie still doesn't like the thought of me getting too close to her, so she's trying to hold me away. Knees stay open, super short frame, so absorb all the pressure there. And even here, she's got all the room she needs to recover a full or a half guard. I can't apply it. If I'm really coming in, the more pressure I apply, she can still recover a guard as her frame is strong. Now, if Susie had panicked, like that, because I sit like this, move her back there. And I picked her leg up, and now she starts to reach for my leg. She wants a half guard. She starts extending. Now pressure starts looking a lot worse. So yeah, really don't chase that leg control. Everyone does it, and we all feel that little bit of comfort in locking up a decent half guard, but that's just to keep that frame in like the whole time. So yeah, that's what I do. I'll find that video. And again, so Susie looks to, so she lies on her. If I walk around and get past her hands, she'll have to invert. So if I try moving around her, what she should look to do is catch either my top leg, sorry, I just spat on Susie. Right hand catches my top leg. No, that one. Your lower hand will catch the leg. So if I'm here, Susie can bring her hips back around. No need. Just there. So even if I get around way above her head, see how she can adjust her angle using that point to anchor herself. Yeah. So even if I come way, yeah. If she misses my top leg, she'll be looking to catch my lower leg. No. And she'll do the same. No, that's it. So if she misses the top, yeah, and it can really help. Another thing about maintaining this position, it makes your back curved, which makes it a lot easier for you to move. So if Susie puts her shoulders onto the floor and catches my ankle, now she tries to move. Her back's flat, more friction on the mat, far harder to move. She brings her head up and her elbows, like her hips wide, her knees tight, her back is curved. So she's now like a ball, she can spin it. See? So she can stay in front of me and she's got a far more mobile guard. I remember the first, like, starting at blue belt, finding, remembering my core aching, like, and neck hurting from maintaining this curve on my back a lot. The moment when you start getting tired and your back starts to flatten, it's a lot harder for you to move and to keep your opponent in front of you. So you can actually use this concept passing as well. So I can push Susie's knees to her chest, and it's now easier for me to manipulate her because her back is curved. So if I push her knees to her chest, curve back, and I can spin her. If her back is flat on the floor, now I can't move her so much. So yeah, curve on the back. Susie wants to move, she curves her back, crunches in, she can catch an ankle with a little finger, and she can spin herself. Super easy, good. And even if I drop my weight on her at any one of these points, her knees are high and wide, and her frames are always there. So if I step around and she starts to adjust, and then I drop my weight, she catches with the frame. No matter how much weight I apply, that frame is in. What she doesn't want to do is to start allowing knees to collapse, which is why her hands are here to keep this open. If they do start to collapse, so your job then is to start framing with your hand, forcing the head away to take the pressure off. If I'm unable to get my head over you, I won't be able to apply pressure. Susie will then be able to reset her frame. She won't stay framing on my head like this. Her elbow will come back inside to the original frame. So if I collapse the knees, the job then is to force my head off center to re-establish that super safeguard position. So knees get collapsed, and it can be a straight arm. Collar ties I tend to use a lot. So the head will already be very close. So just get your forearm ahead of the top shoulder. Don't push with the hand. It's a forearm bar, and you don't need to have a lot of room to reset this knee. So you just need the forearm ahead of the shoulder. I apply massive pressure, reset. It's enough room. Yeah. And it's easier to collapse the knee. The further the knee comes away from your opponent's body. Yeah. So you can manipulate this a little bit. If I'm way back here, a good grappler will not look to control my legs. They won't reach, promise you. So maybe stepping in a little bit to a point where they feel they might be able to establish a guard, and then looking to retreat. May get them shooting to look to chase that control. And that's our opportunity to collapse and get our pressure in. So yeah, I feel like it's good talking about these concepts as looking to take advantage of it as a passer and as somebody looking to retain their guard. So yeah, stay here all the time. Guard retention 101. Define that video.
Box.
What's it called?
I call it the box. And when someone's on me in side control, I'm always thinking like, build your box, like side, 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 side.
Yeah.
Underline.
I think the big thing that I've left out is talking about like neck defense. There. Oh God. So the moment anyone starts going after your neck, it's posterior chain activation. And that goes if somebody's on a guillotine with their hand under your chin. I want your neck exposed like this. They won't be able to choke you unless they're able to crumple your head. And I use this a lot, particularly in my half guard. So if you come up into the top of my face, the camera. So people will reach for your head. And half guards are saying, by the way, look, I've got my like super shallow hook here, and there's my half. And you don't have to stay here all the time. You can start looking, you can look to kick this leg by and even take a low knee shield if you want, providing that you know that if they start applying pressure, apply pressure down, that collar ties there, or this brain, this top arm job is to keep distance just enough to reset that knee if you start getting bothered by it. Now, if Susie was to start grabbing my head, like maybe to wrap it up here, my job is that. Really open this up. Now, as the passer, if you stay chasing my head, I can start looking at hip counters. What you'd want to do if somebody did this, if you attack their neck in half guard, would be to give up on that and take advantage of what I've just done to myself. I've parted my head away from my hips. My head should be level with it if I wanted solid frames. Yeah, so I have exposed my hips. So as soon as you can start looking at hip underhooks and start looking at attack passes. So threatening the neck in order to change your opponent's body shape is is really, really useful. So you can like, maybe they hit an underhook, Susie goes for a dart instead, so that would be right arm going under my armpit, reaching through, so like this. I arc my head, giving up on that, so Susie can now drop into those underhooks and start looking to flatten my hip. Similarly, from a seated position, I can look to snap. So Susie's head is level with her hips, which means, and she's compensating for it by arcing her back. She wants to move her butt away and have a straight back leaning over the hips. So I can snap the head down into front headlocks here. Susie will look to pull away and activate the posterior chain, which then, if I allow to go, I can start looking to get inside that space, get in on my opponent's hips. So if somebody is doing this to you, this really awkward frame, you've got to attack their neck, but not necessarily with the intention of finishing a choke, with the intention of exposing their hips. So yeah, I've talked flat out, very conceptual class, not very many techniques, but yeah, that's the way I currently understand my guard retention. Things will I'll probably learn a few new things and tell you about them in the future. But yeah, I'm still learning how I play. I learned some cool new takedowns. You want to see?
Oh gosh. Why do I
What's
feel
he doing takedowns with?
Sorry? Oh,
Who are you
Dino.
doing takedowns with?
Dino, my friend. He's from Romania. She's very good at takedowns.
Look who's back in the gym.
Is it me? Or
No.
Matt?
Ah!
What is it? What's going on?
I think it was Harlem, but it was
Yeah,
blurry.
it is.
How long was that today?
Flashing it up.
Taking shirtless selfies at Farringdon.
Oh no. Well, then, it's up to him.
Oh, no.
Man loves a shirtless selfie. It's hilarious.
So, underhooks while standing, guys. So,
Do you not want to jump on her first?
no, I don't. So, what we look to do to get an underhook, well, what we want to cup the shoulder, near side shoulder. And we want our shoulder underneath the armpit. That's where we want to be. Lots of ways of, come on, Susan, you don't fucking, I want to drill on you. Little bit of a wrestler stance, head up. Susie could take a collar tie. I can push the elbow open and get my underhook here. I'm looking to get my shoulder underneath it. One option to take advantage of the underhook is to turn the way Susie is facing and at the same time throw my arm over her far shoulder. And now I can come around to the back. She knows this and is like quite concerned. So if I try doing it, what she'll do is circle this way. So she'll be, and that will prevent me from throwing because I need to get here. Stay still for a minute. In order to throw over the top.
Too still enough.
Sorry. So, collar tie, Susie pushes with the opposite hand, my elbow open, and now this hand comes up to the shoulder. She looks to get her shoulder underneath mine. If I stay still, Susie will turn this way and shoot her arm over, back over the other side of my shoulder. So yeah, that way. So really like overhand swing. So shoot. Yeah, don't hold on to it. Reach. So Susie will reach all the way. See, you're trying to push me back. You just want to go. One. Don't hold, just shoot the hand up and back. That's it. Better. To get around behind me. To stop that, what I will be doing is trying to circle, keeping Susie in front of me. Right, I'm going to be trying to get as much weight through her underhook as possible. So what Susie can do, if I'm doing that, is grab my far tricep. She will look to pull me this way. So circle, and then see how I step closer to her with this foot. So as Susie circles and pulls, I'll step. Susie will now switch that right hand grip down to my knee. Now, she will shoot her left hand forward and charge. Like that. I've been really useful. So, I've been working my underhooks. Susie's been circling, stop me from getting to the back. So I catch the arm and pull her around, watching that leg step. I then shoot and catch the knee. So yeah, super useful technique. So much of wrestling's hand fighting, and a big problem that I used to have that I think I fixed during lockdown is I just shoot without setups. You've got to have a hand fight first. Looking for underhooks, 2-on-1s. They can be like Russian ties like this, or collar ties. Those are essentially the three grips I look to work. I look to get to here, to here, or to here. One of those three. So I cycle between them. To hit a takedown off of those, I was dropping too low. What I look to do now, particularly against jiu-jitsu guys, when you're hitting takedowns against them in Nogi, it is dangerous to drop your head any lower than their breastplate, than their rib cage. If you drop down here, it's a lot easier for them to get on to your neck. So my favorite blast double is I drop my head level to here. So it's not a huge shot. I'm not like dropping down onto my front knee and going through here. I level change off of my grip fight. So this could be off of an underhook. It's far easier to shoot on somebody if they're off to the side of you as well, particularly for singles. So Susie goes to deal with this underhook, pulling the arm out. So just pull away. There's my level change, just level with the breastplate. My hands are going to look to catch the back of the knees, not the thighs or the butt. I want down on the back of the knees. So my head is on the chest. Don't fall over here. And knees. And now what I look to do is run through. So here, and I just run forward, pulling the legs underneath me as my head travels forward. So it can be off of anything. A 2-on-1, Susie pulls her arm out, head, and hits. Stripping to a Russian tie, Susie pulls out, my head switching, I hit. You've got to have those setups, and you guarantee people are going to be looking to strip those grips. They don't like it, right? So if you've got just a double-handed wrist control on somebody, one of the easiest ones to go for. Susie's going to be putting her head into here, pulling my hand down to the floor. It's not nice. So I look to pull my arm out, the hands now. You see, she's kind of sticking her butt out a little bit too far. You want to get the level change, not by bending at the hips, but by bending your knees. You're going to stay upright. So she grabs my wrist, I pull out, she bends her knees, and now she'll start to charge forward. She wants to be a little bit more in a combat stance. So instead of square, it's a lot harder to move forward. So Susie starts square again. You want to have one leg forward, squat, hip, and run through. So yeah, initial takedown was underhook. When this happens, people are going to be circling to here. This will allow you to reach the arm and pull hard to get that step. Susie will then catch my back leg and at the same time look to be moving forward. That's brilliant. Good. Sorry. So yeah, I'm not a brilliant wrestler yet, but I thought I'd share with you what I learned. Any questions, guys?
No.
Cool. I essentially just waffled for 45 minutes. I hope you picked up some stuff.
It was about 45 minutes.
Yeah, it's 43.
What are we going to do for our special final
Last-
Thursday?
I don't know. Maybe we should get like Christmas crackers or like have like.
Can we go to your new house?
I mean, probably won't be very much technique at my new house. Maybe we could just have a
take the
Zoom.
mats to Brockwell Park.
Could do. Where did those packs of maps go? Did they get taken?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Like at the start of lockdown, I bought way too many maps by accident. I thought I was buying
9 mats, but I accidentally bought 9 packs of 6.
Ooh.
That was basically me at the start of the year with condoms, and then this happened.
That's great. We're watching the Schitt's Creek.
Yeah.
We told you that.
Oh, yes, you said that last week.
Oh, we watched so
Really
much
good.
of it. It's great.
Oh, so I've also got a new program, which Ross hates, but it's actually incredible.
My fucking God, is it
So-
bad?
It's called Indian Matchmaker, and it's a documentary, naturally.
Heard about this.
Right.
Heard about this. Yeah.
And it is culturally enlightening about arranged marriages and normal cultural proceedings, but it's basically Marie Kondo meets Love is
A
Blind.
big fat gypsy wedding.
And Big Fat Gypsy Wedding.
Yeah. It's sick.
You're gonna watch it.
Friends were
You're gonna watch it, Steve.
It's like, so, yeah, I got to watch it because actually I got like I got a good group of friends from uni, and they're all Indian, and they were watching it and they're saying like the Indians in America are more Indian than the Indians in India.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that with us guys actually. Like culturally, it's like, you know, like 50 years back, you know, like the Indians over there, you know, it's like obviously like the culture's progressed, become a lot more modern over the years. Whereas it's like it's an interesting thing. So it's like really proper traditional.
That's like the Greek community in Australia are supposedly like more Greeks than Greeks in Greece because they just behave like they did when they immigrated over.
Yeah, that's basically it. My parents are exactly the same. So it's an interesting like peer into it actually. Yeah, I got to get into it. Got to watch that.
It's sick. Seriously.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Oh, it was bad.
It
It was bad. It was like, so they interview the people.
Are there dresses? Is there fashion in it? Is it like Say Yes to the Dress? Because I fucking love that show.
We haven't gotten into the fashion yet. Right now, she's like going around and she's meeting the singles and like getting their requirements. And also, and they all call her auntie because they're that tight.
Yeah.
And then like,
There's one lad who's like had 300 offers, his parents were saying.
oh yes, he's minted and he's hot and he just doesn't like any of the girls.
No, but he's gay.
Because he's gay.
He's gay.
Oh really?
I think he's gay.
I'm fucking convinced. 300 offers.
No, because he's been in favour of going on the show to get an arranged marriage with a woman.
Do you not think his parents are quite pushy?
I feel like he wouldn't agree to go on national TV if he didn't intend on carrying through.
When we went to Morocco as a family, someone offered my father a number of donkeys to my sister.
Oh, nice.
Apparently, I was not worthy of any livestock.
I was waiting for that. I was like, I was going to ask how many donkeys were offered.
Fucking none. Apparently, my father would have to pay donkeys to get rid of me. But my sister is worthy of like 15 donkeys. Because she's like quite a burly lass.
Ouch.
And she can do like a lot of like practical tasks. She's a firefighter.
How did they know?
She looks like a fucking burly lass to look at her.
Okay.
They're like, look at those shoulders. Oh, you
Actually,
have 3 donkeys.
actually. And she wears like work boots everywhere. She looks like, if you didn't know her, you would think that she is the most stereotypically like lesbian you've ever met. That she is straight as an arrow. My boy, does she love a rugby prop.
Oh dear.
My parents still argue about someone offered camels for me when I was like 9, apparently.
Ooh, look at me. I had I was
This is a bit more problematic.
And my dad to this day says that the guy was joking, that it was all hypothetical, so he went along with it and was like, yeah, sure. deliver these camels to our hotel. Oh, what hotel are you staying at? Oh yeah, this is our hotel. Blah blah blah, blah, and said yes to exchanging these camels.
So you
And my
belong to
mum-
somebody else.
And my mum believes that the man genuinely meant it and just couldn't get the camels together, and that's why he never showed. And then my dad literally agreed to sell me. And my dad's like, no, we were having banter.
Was this in Morocco as well?
I wonder
Yeah,
what happened to you.
there's a lot of stories of that kind of stuff. I was just around my mate Steve, he does BJJ as well, and his wife was telling me that like she got offered for camels when she was younger as well. So
I just wondered, it's like, do you know, like when guys drive by and like whistle at girls or like from their cars? Yeah. How many times has somebody gone?
So I've got a few stories about this as a girl who runs like 30, 40 kilometers a week. I have stories about the catcalling. So it's gotten worse during lockdown, like significantly worse. And I think that it's probably because people have like backlogs of condoms, as do I. Fine. But I would say that it's gone from like before lockdown, I've never been catcalled in London when I'm out running. Like it's never happened before. It happens a lot in New Zealand. Like once I had a car full of guys. I was running in Muay Thai shorts and a sports bra. Muay Thai shorts. Like, are you really gonna like hassle the girl who's like such an established Muay Thai fighter? Her name is stitched on the bum of her shorts. Like, really? Anyway, this car parked in front of me, and the guys got out, and one of them ran up to me and was like running alongside me and was like, "Do you think I could have your number?" And I was like, "What are you fucking doing? Like, this is so creepy. Don't you realize you're being a creep?" And then he was like, "Oh, you're so frigid." And then he ran back to his mates and was like, "What a bitch." Like, yeah, because you ran after me, you fucking loser. But in London, it's got a lot worse since the lockdowns started. So like probably every third or fourth run I go on, I would have someone like pull over their car and say something to me, toot at me, yell out the front of the car. When I was running just near my house, actually, I was coming up to an intersection and I had to stop. So like a like roadworks kind of cement truck could turn in, and the guys stopped in the middle of the intersection and leered out the window, and they all yelled at me. And then our road was getting resurfaced the next day, and they were fucking outside my house. And I have really bright running shoes, like these real bright Asics. Like no one in London has them but me, I think. So like they would have known it was me. They know where I live now.
Oh no, you gotta move.
But yeah, no, it's bad. The catcalling in London's really bad at the moment. Like if you weren't a confident girl, it would scare you and say you didn't run.
It's pretty. That's pretty good though. Once every like 3 or 4. 'Cause I was running before lockdown with a couple of girls from work, and we had a couple of guys with us as well. But like the girls got it every single time. We went for like a lunchtime run. Every single time, like no, like they'll just get catcalled.
I try to scruff myself up, and I run quite early in the morning. So I run sort of like 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'll usually have like a hoodie on or something.
Yeah, no, it's not. Like I told Freddie off for it once before.
I'm not surprised you.
I'm not even laughing at that because I'm not even surprised. I'm not even really disappointed because it's just a fact, isn't it? That Freddie does that kind of shit.
Yeah, so I was like going. So this girl was walking. It was in not Benito's hat. The Chilangos right outside the gym box. So I'm like walking past, and Freddie's like, "Oh, you're right?" Like I'm like, "Fucking leave her alone." like that loud, so everyone could hear.
But then also, I complain about this, but there's a really fit man who sometimes sits at the front of is it the Italian place where you get breakfast from on a Wednesday?
Cook at the Mama, yeah.
So he sometimes sits at the front of there, and whenever he's sitting at the front of there, I take a photo of him and I send it to the girls' group chat.
You fucking creep!
Are you not in girls' group chat anymore?
Have I been kicked out of girls' group chat? Oh, there must be a subgroup chat.
I think it's probably a subgroup chat. I think it's like the Wednesday morning bitch ball group chat.
The people that actually.
Can I get on the bitch brawl?
No.
I can appreciate a good-looking man.
We're having one on Sunday.
Oh, there is a beautiful man on Schitt's Creek.
Ross is in love.
Much.
Yeah.
He's best looking man I've ever seen.
Until he shaved his beard.
It's so fucking funny. There's one
Better
episode.
looking than Jose.
Jose is very good looking.
Fuck, this
But-
is recorded, isn't it?
We should probably stop, but nobody's going to go back and watch this, are they?
I know it post on YouTube.
Right? Yeah. And you've got your condom joke on you as well, Meg.
That's got to be the winner.
She's going to be seeing this. You'd be
Oh,
like,
we
"Sorry."
should make a highlight reel. I'm sure we've got someone in the club that would be really good to make a
That's a
highlight
lot
reel.
of fucking footage to go through.
Yeah, we have some recommended spots, right?
And there's some like amazing.
We'll make sure the condom joke gets
There's a
in there.
lot of amazing material on here from me.
Yeah, the Warhammer one as well.
Warhammer.
Do you actually collect? Do you actually play the actual game? Or
I don't play it. I've got a couple of miniatures, and I've read I'm on my 54th book.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, yeah, so I think
Is cool the word you're looking for?
Yeah, you got loads of respect points from it when I found out that actually.
Were you
Yeah.
bullied a lot as a kid, Ross? Is this why you do jiu-jitsu?
yeah, I fucking told you, didn't I?
I mean, you probably told me, but I probably forgot, just like most of the jiu-jitsu I've learned in my life. So, you know.
Oh wait, I want to show you.
She's up.
This better be a dress.
I've got, this was from when I started my jitsu. My little diagrams.
Oh my god! So I'm doing my rubber guards.
Holy
These
shit.
are my little diagrams. And they are so creepy.
This is butterfly guard, and here it's saying, I am a butterfly.
But your elbows are up. That's bad.
And no, the arms are straight out because they're a happy butterfly.
But it shouldn't be like that. It's wrong.
Well, you're wrong.
Right, guys?
Jeez.
Right. We're going to head off.
Okay.
See you guys Tuesday
Bye,
for the
guys.
last lesson, I guess.
Listen.
Yeah?
Bring your own boots.
Bring your own booze. Yeah, maybe we should all have a drink on Thursday. Or have
Some beer.
some beer. And
Okay.
cheese.
Cheese and wine. Megan?
Cheese and wine, Megan.
Oh yeah, cheese and wine night.
Right, guys. We're going to
I'll make
watch it.
myself
We'll do
a
a communal
chamomile.
watching of the shits.
Everyone else wants to watch shit.
Bye.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye. Have a good evening.
Friday.